After like 30 minutes of finding parking, we are at Sunset GT. Look at this lineup of all Performantes. None of these are regular Huracans. It's ridiculous. This is a 650S. This is a 570S Spider. That's the 720S.
There's a 570, 620,
650. Dude, Odie, is that you? ODI Productions.
Well, I think
this is my shit. I think this is Miami Blue. 0.2 GT3 carbon buckets.
I'm not sure if I'm digging the red.
Yeah, I don't like blue with red, but I love this color on the 0.2. Yeah, this thing is literally the perfect color scheme. The bright blue with the yellow, that's like, that's my shit right now. I love this combo. So sick.
I feel like you can learn a lot from YouTube, and anything with music, like you can learn to play the piano now on YouTube.
yeah, there's a killer guy.
So car meet was pretty sick, and now we're back at our usual spot. When are you guys gonna pay me for all this promotion? So nice out. So one thing I get asked a ton is like sort of what pushed you towards being an entrepreneur. And I think like honestly one of the big things for me is being in an inspiring place. And like this could potentially be controversial or offend a few people, but like I just can't comprehend how people can live in a place that is undesirable and like, you know, or wanting to cut the music, or like wanting to you know, move somewhere dramatically cheaper just to save a little bit of money. That just doesn't compete with me. Like I think that it's actually positive ROI to live in a place that's very interesting and like you know, there's interesting stuff going on and like there's inspiring stuff around you. Like when we moved down here, we had a studio apartment, like super small. We're walking near it, so I'll show it a little bit. And I think I have an old clip. I'll try to clip that in if I can find it. But you know, it was super inspiring because we had this little tiny studio apartment, but there were multi-million-dollar houses right next door. That's just how it is here, like in this beach area. And that was honestly, that like upped my game of what I thought was possible. So like, I hate the mentality of like, you know, moving to Kansas to pay $200 a month rent. Like, I just hate it. Like, why don't you, instead of focusing on saving money, focus on making a little more money? I feel like nobody's even just trying. Like, you have to just actually try to do that. Like, actually think about it for an hour. Like, you know, it doesn't even have to be a huge thing, but stop thinking about the saving and just try to actually make some money, you know? And I know probably most of the people watching like kind of are on my same page about that. But for like the average person, I just feel like they are not thinking that way. And I love that hopefully our little community sees it the way that I see it. But it's like, you know, how can you be content with just this like super mediocre life and super mediocre goals? And I feel like if you're truly happy with that, that's great, I'm happy for you. But like, is that really, but is that really what you want? Like, is that seriously deep down, like, are you just like convincing yourself that you're okay with that? Or like, is that actually what you're happy with? So it was literally this tiny corner right there, just a pretty mediocre average building. But like you can see, like, I mean, I'll show you guys around like what was just next door. I mean, these are probably $4 or $5 million houses. And that was just a little studio there, but that was a huge inspiration. Or like freaking this is like 5 houses down. Like, look at this. Literally incredible. This one looks so much sicker at night though. Yeah, so I mean, like, seeing the reality of people making it, you know, having a lot of money, able to just, I mean, I don't want to be materialistic, but like just seeing that it is financially possible to have these incredible beach houses, or like the cars earlier, just sort of normalizing that, getting around it, it just ups your game, right? Like if you're just in the middle of nowhere and everything is slow moving and, you know, there's not a lot of wealth around, like, just lowers your standards, right? And I think there's a lot of value in upping your standards and just surrounding yourself with this stuff. It just opens up your perception of what's actually real. You know, like these are real people and real, like those $1 million cars, like real people own them. Like it's possible, right? It's in the realm of possibility. So yeah, I mean, I really don't mean this in a materialistic way. Like it's fine if, you know, you don't have any materialistic goal whatsoever. But I think what the real valuable point here is, like, you need to normalize the possibility of making 6 figures, 7 figures, right? Like people are doing it. Like it's a real thing to build a 7-figure business. It is not that far out of reach. There are probably millions of 7-figure businesses. I have no idea what the actual figure is, but you know, listen to those stories and just, you've got to normalize it. If you think it's so unbelievable and incredible, it's out of your reach. So you have to normalize that concept, right? Like, you know, at some point I became normalized with the idea of making 6 figures at a young age. And at some point I became normal. I was hearing so much about 7-figure businesses, so I believed in it. And so, yeah, I mean, like being in an inspirational place and surrounding yourself with those stories and those people, it's gonna up your game. So, you know, maybe, I mean, it's probably not great advice, but don't always go for like the most economical thing, you know, like you need to up your game and up your belief of what's possible.
Okay, I think Francis has enough footage for the rest of the year. I think it's
Oh God, it's coming.